Hello, I'm Derrick, and welcome to Hindsight 101, where you'll learn about things that will help you in everyday life. Now I'm going to show you how to replace a single handle faucet with one shiny and nice like this. Now they're fairly easy to install. The biggest problem you're probably going to have is taking out the old one. You have very minimal tools, so without further ado, let's get to it. This is how the faucet comes packaged. You have the nozzle, the counterweight, and the water supply line. So this is the old faucet at my mom's house. She had a lot of problems with it, and she was never really happy with it. So let's go ahead and replace it. If you have a garbage disposal that plugs in, you're going to need to unplug it. Also, if you have an outlet, you're going to want to turn off the power to that at the circuit breaker. Now, you can't see it very well, but you're also going to want to turn off the hot and cold water. If you don't have these connections, then you may have to turn off the water to the whole house. So here's a better look on how to turn off the hot and cold water if you have these connections. As you can see, it's a tight fit. Here I'm just verifying that the water is completely turned off. So in order to remove the old faucet, all you have to do is take the locking ring and unscrew it off. But the problem that I had was once it was all the way at the bottom, I couldn't get it off because the ends of the water connections were blocking it. So what I had to do was I had to cut them off in order to take the ring off. But you ask, how do you put it on? In the first place, well, that plastic piece can actually be removed and it makes it a lot easier to put the ring on. Next, I will show you how to remove the white plastic piece, if that'll make it easier for you. To take the piece off, all you have to do is push in from the bottom and then pull from the top. There you go. If you ever wondered how your spray nozzle automatically retracts, well, there's a counterweight that will weigh it back down when you pull it. And then you're going to have to remove this in order to remove the old sink. So it's basically held in place with sometimes 1 or 2 screws. As you can see, you take them apart and you can then pull the whole nozzle housing out. So now I'm going to install the water lines. I'm just going to follow the same procedure. Left was hot, right was cold. All you have to do is just screw them in and you're good to go. I have both water lines connected. And you can see I have a third connection, which is this spray hose connection. I'm not going to put that in because it'll make it too wide. And you see to the top, I have that brass cylinder. I'm going to have to screw that in and it won't fit. So I'm going to have to install the faucet onto the counter and then I will install the spray hose connection. Another option in installing the water lines is waiting until after you put the faucet into the sink. It all depends on how much room you have to work with, will determine how you install it yourself. Either way is fine, as long as you can get it to work. Now we're going to install the faucet onto the sink. You just slide the cable in, and you're going to let the faucet just kind of float there for the moment until you can screw it in from under the counter. As you can see here, I've already screwed in the bottom piece. Now I'm just going to tighten it up so it gives the faucet a secure fit. When you're screwing the washer in, there's a black washer you put there, and then you use the brass piece and you screw it in. That's it. I ran into a little problem. Since these cables are proprietary, I have to use them, but they didn't work with my current water connection. So I had to get a 1/2 inch to 3/8 inch cable, and then I had to get an adapter to connect the two. So here's what the final connection looks like. I just added some plumber's tape to give it a watertight seal. As you can see, it's not retracting like it's supposed to. We need to add the counterweight. You just attach that to the bottom of the cable and it'll keep it from falling down. It just comes apart, then two pieces, and you just screw it together. There's two screws. As you can see here, we have the countersink hooked up, we have the hot water hooked up, and then we have the cold. As you can see here, all the connections are secure. You just connect it to your water line, turn the power back on, and plug in your garbage disposal. That's it. You're all done.